closed.
You don't look the sort who can afford to turn down legitimate work.
What do you want?
How about we start with a light?
Well, you got a name, miss?
Elizabeth. You can call me Elizabeth.
What can I do for you?
There's a girl who needs to be found. Maybe you've seen her.
This girl's dead.
You know her.
You'll see dozens of her type down by the docks or the slums in Apollo Square. Orphans. With Fontaine's charity shut. No place for them.
But her you know.
As I said, girl's dead.
Lost.
Look, I don't know where you get...
Lost isn't dead. Name your rate, I will pay you for this work. But you do this one gratis, wouldn't you?
I don't follow.
Something tells me you will. Seems my instincts were correct.
Where's Sally?
I don't know, but I know someone who does. Follow me.
What's this girl to you?
What I need from her is my business. But I know where to start looking. Something tells me a man with your particular talents could be useful. Edward thinks the way to my heart is... What happened to these children? What are they?
Where have you been? Cabin in Arcadia? Little sisters. Atom factories.
It's grotesque.
Compromise? Come on. What do they even look like? Well, I say you should have...
Funny.
What?
You're not knowing about the little sisters. How long have you been in Rapture?
Let's just say I don't get out much.
You've got eyes and ears, don't you?
If I wanted to share my life story, Mr. DeWitt, I would write my memoirs. If I learned anything about Rapture, I thought it was a place where people understood to mind their own business.
Where are we headed?
The man we need to see is in the Garden of the Muses.
How do you know?
My sources are my own, Mr. DeWitt. If you have better information as to the whereabouts of your girl, I suggest you avail yourself of it.
Where are you taking me?
When's the last time you saw Sally?
What?
She was taken from you, wasn't she?
How do you know this?
She was taken, down at Surprise. You were playing the tables and...
She disappeared.
And?
Cop friend of mine, Sullivan, says they found her floating in the docks.
You see the body?
Look.
Did you see the body? This world values children, not childhood. There's a profit to be made and men who make it. I'm taking you to one of them. Mr. DeWitt, you all right?
I'm fine. Just get these spells sometimes. It'll pass.
Refreshment, sir? Madam?
We're fine, thanks.
Mr. DeWitt, we'll find my source inside of that club.
Cohen? What does that lunatic have to do with Sally?
Private party. No entry without invitation.
We'll see about that.
Which business do you represent, sir?
Business?
Yes, which business?
DeWitt Investigations.
Mr. Cohen does not truck with private detectives. Masks of invitation went to artists and craftsmen alone.
I'm with the artist struggle. We're expected.
No mask, no entry.
Stuffed shirt.
These invitation masks he spoke of. They must have gone out to local artisans.
Well, I guess we'll have to persuade someone to loan us one.
The business of Rapture is business. Says it's sponsored by the Artist Struggle, the Golden Rule, and Rapture Records.
I guess those stores would be as good a place to start as any.
Ah, very well. Mr. Cohen awaits your participation at his performance.
So who is this fellow Cohen? Some sort of underworld figure?
Worse. He's an artist.
An artist who kidnaps children.
Cohen's muse is a bit more diverse. I've seen this type. Gets an idea in his head, end a conversation. Don't matter who gets hurt.
In front of my muse? My muse shall not be mocked. Fitzpatrick! Please! The stick! Enter, for God's sake! My muse shall not be mocked! Get them out of here! There shall be no failure on my canvas. Oh, there's no room in Rapture anymore. For the artist. Who are you?
Name's DeWitt.
Is that right? My. This one's a real biscuit. Isn't he a biscuit, lady?
I need to ask you a few questions.
Questions? Yes. Yes. It is the work of man to ask. It is the work of the artist to answer.
You've seen this girl, haven't you?
We artists see more than most. You are more than you claim to be, little songbird. Are you not? Watch this one, DeWitt. She'll take you where you don't want to go. But I know the child in that photo is important to you. So many children flit, flit, flit away. I know where the girl is. And I will send you to her. In exchange, all I ask is a dance.
What?
I see something in you two. Art strips away artifice. Show me who you are, and I will show you where you need to.
Listen, Cohen, you son of a bitch.
Mr. DeWitt.
What?
Dance with me. I shudder to think what greater price he might care to extract.
Fitzpatrick! Beauty and pain. They can be no more separated than birth and blood.
What do you think Cohen's customers do with the children? Do they?
Sometimes. But those types lack the capital of people like Ryan and Suchong.
That's a blessing.
You saw those little sisters? You so sure? But if Suchong had Sally, I'd know it.
How?
Because I tied him to a chair and asked him.
So?
For 15 hours.
I don't know what to make of you, Mr. DeWitt.
No!
Listen, we're not gonna keep...
Fitzpatrick! I see suffering in you. I know how to shine a light on your pain. A moth will become a butterfly.
Mr. DeWitt! Mr. DeWitt! Are you alright?
I'm fine.
You were dreaming. You kept saying your daughter's name, Sally.
She's not my daughter.
I thought...
Pain and beauty. To an artist, they are parent and child.
Cohen?
I'm sending you to find your young one. No need to thank me. I'm not so sure you'll like what you find.
Look.
Fontaine's. Ryan sent the whole thing to the bottom.
But it's a prison now. Why would Cohen have sent Sally there?
I don't know.
Everyone has needs. I merely provide a service for those who have the means to pay. You'll find your little bird in the housewares department.
How many people do you suppose Ryan's got locked up in that place?
Enough. Fontaine had amassed something near an army. Now they're down there, spliced up and wild. Alright, there's a dock up ahead.
Takes a cold son of a bitch to do that to a living person.
What's that?
Burial at sea.
You read your residency contract with Ryan Industries? In perpetuity, we're all buried at sea.
Don't get too comfortable. Keep your eyes open.
Mr. DeWitt, look. Housewares. That's where Cohen said we'd find Sally. The store ran trams between the three buildings. We'll need to avail ourselves of that.
Assuming it still works.
Optimism, Mr. DeWitt. It helps in situations like this. When did you come to Rapture?
Oh, it was, geez, I guess around 51? No, 48?
That's a rather large gap.
Time. Life I had before. Sort of becomes a blur. 49. 49 for sure. Damn.
You look a mess, Mr. DeWitt.
Just keep your eyes open for splicers. They can do us a whole lot worse.
Here, little birdies. Eat it up. Well, it's good for you, you know. I've never heard of birds that didn't like seeds. What's the matter with you? Do you think it's poison?
What's happened to these people? They don't even seem sane.
Nothing beats your first splice. From there, it's all downhill. The frozen frosties, the jockeys who'll hand you 1,000 volts as soon as look at you.
You sound sympathetic.
They wouldn't be the first sons of bitches who found an answer at the bottom of a bottle. But once you see them go all weak at the knees at the sight of a little sister and all her Adam, They cut a less sympathetic figure. Can you open this, Elizabeth?
Really? That little old lock. There you go.
Damn it, that son of a bitch drank every last bottle of Old Man Winter.
I think I can help.
Oh. What was that?
It's a new plasmid. Lets me bring in things that might exist, but don't.
I'm not sure I understand. What's it called?
Tear.
Where'd you find that?
You don't expect a girl to share all her secrets, do you, Mr. DeWitt?
Freeze your enemies. Shatter them into 1,000 pieces.
All right. I know you're the client and all, but I've gone about far enough without a few answers.
My purpose here is none of your concern. Consider me a means to an end.
And why do I get the feeling I'm being set up?
I told you I'm in collections. An account is in arrears. My clients simply want to see matters set to right.
Don't make any sense, that's all.
If you don't like the arrangement, the bathysphere's back that way. If Sally's not your daughter, what's she to you? Why risk life and limb?
It's part of the job.
You owe me no explanation.
She's just another orphan. After Fontaine went down, City was lousy with him.
And?
I don't know. You have a reason for every stupid thing you've ever done? She started showing up, looking peaked. More fool me to feed the brat. Should have known she would never leave.
How did you lose her?
It's none of your business. Something about you doesn't sit right.
Yes?
Wouldn't peg you as the Rapture type. Not even a little.
If you mean I have no interest in joining the Andrew Ryan book club, you'd be right. Just another set of fanatics with a different set of books.
I gamble.
What?
You asked me how I lost Sally. I gamble. Took her somewhere a kid's got no business being. I was winning. In a place like that, you don't let a kid out of your sight.
But you did.
Yeah, and here we are. But the million-dollar question is, what's she to you?
I have an interest in reuniting you with her. Isn't that reason enough?
Let's hope Cohen was on the level when he said this is where we'd find Sally.
I can only imagine what they would do with a child in a place like this.
Cohen's halfway to Splicetown. Probably thought putting a child in prison would be high art.
The sooner we find her, the better.
Come on,
Sally!
Hopper's got all sorts of plans.
Sally! Come out of there!
I can't see her.
What are you doing?
This is the schematic for the venting system. It shows there are more vents like this one in electronics, the bistro, returns, the book department, and the appliance show floor.
So?
If she's in there, there are only 6 vents she can come out of. Now there are 5. All these vents are connected to the central heating unit. If we close them off and turn the heat up, she'll be forced out through the central exhaust. It's the only exit.
You want to burn her alive?
No, we just make it hot enough to flush her out.
You can't do that.
Look, either we find her, or one of those splicers will.
All right. Where are the other vents?
Up ahead. Hear that?
Sally? Sally, it's me, Booker! Now, you come out now. Sally? Dear, do you hear me? It's me, Booker. Now listen, dear. You come out right now!
Mr. DeWitt, she's not coming. Now let's get the rest of these vents sealed. It's the only way. That's the last one.
Where's the exhaust?
In the toy department. Thermostat's right there. Turn the heat up.
I'm not going to burn her.
It's the only way to bring her to us. If you won't do it, I will. Just give me the word. Mr.
Turn
DeWitt.
it up.
What?
Turn the goddamn thermostat up.
Do you hear that? We need to get back to the exhaust before we lose the girl again.
Sally! Sally, come out! It isn't working.
I told you she's coming.
It isn't working. Turn it off.
Turn it off. It's not going.
We have to turn it off. We are hurting her. Sally! Sally? Sally, it's Booker. It's me. Sally, come on. I'm gonna get you out of here. Sally! Come out here right now! No! Sally. No!
Mr. Bubbles!
First aid!
There, that one.
You bet! Here you go!
Nice!
Mr. DeWitt, the girl!
Sally!
DeWitt,
It's okay, Sally.
is she?
Look, it's Sarah. Huh? She's come to see you. We're going home. Do you want to go home? Don't, please, don't. I'm here. I just want to take you home. I just want you to Give her back.
You're hurting her.
She's got to come with me.
She's not your child.
She is mine.
Let her go. Let her go.
She's mine. Shut it down. Shut down the machine. Shut down the machine. Shut it down.
wasn't yours, Comstock.
No.
I wasn't.
No.
Yet you had to have me, didn't you?
No, this isn't right.
And the guilt was too much.
You turn to us to solve your problem.
To provide a place to go where you might forget.
Where there never was an Anna in the first place.
Comstock was never one to own up to his errors, was he, brother?
Never comfortable with the choices he made.
Always seeking someone else's life to claim as his own.
Elizabeth. Child. I am so sorry.
No, you're not. But you're about to be.
Mademoiselle?
Yes?
Quel est votre nom?
Elizabeth.
Pour vous, Elisabeth.
Oh, no. No, I couldn't. I can't accept...
Je vous en prie. J'insiste.
Oh, thank you. Bonjour, Monsieur Surratt.
Bonjour, Mademoiselle Elisabeth. Je manque d'inspiration aujourd'hui.
Bonjour, Elisabeth.
Bonjour.
Bien, bonjour, Mademoiselle. Comment allez-vous? Elle est tellement plus belle en vrai, tu trouves?
Cage. Oiseau ou la cage. Pourquoi pas les deux?
Sally? Sally! Go. Go away. It wasn't my fault. I didn't do anything! No! It wasn't my fault! Leave me alone! Can't you just leave me alone? I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I never should have left. I never should have left you there.
Empty. Empty again. What are the odds?
What's the hold-up?
Just having a bit of a laugh, Atlas.
This ain't a sporting event. Put a bullet in her. No need to torture the poor girl. We're not animals, you know.
All right.
Let her go!
Quiet down, dear. In a minute, all your problems will be over.
Elizabeth, tell him you can get him back.
Booker? Booker, what? I don't understand. How?
Say, I can get you back to Rapture.
What?
Just say it.
I can get you back to Rapture!
Put the gun down. Now, what was that you said about Rapture?
I can get you back to Rapture.
And how you plan on doing that, sister? You some kind of magician?
Suchong.
What?
Tell him Suchong.
Suchong.
And how do you know that, slant-eyed wonder?
You're his lab assistant.
I'm his lab assistant.
If it escaped your notice, Andrew Ryan sunk us 5,000 fathoms below his shining city. How does Suchong propose to get us back?
That's between me.
That's between me.
And the slant.
And the slant. But if I do this, the girl goes with me.
Little sisters are worth their weight in gold. She's not up for negotiation.
Last time I checked, back in the city they were making little sisters by the dozen.
That's a right fairy tale you've dreamed up, sister. But if you're lying, we can just as well kill you tomorrow. Down here, we got nothing but time. In case I need to get hold of you. If you see Suchong, tell him Atlas says he hasn't forgotten him.
Elizabeth, come on, it's time to get moving.
Booker? What?
Over here, on the radio.
You're not Booker.
Well, of course I ain't.
What have I gotten myself into? I didn't orphan that girl. I didn't kidnap her.
But she made for some exceptional bait, didn't she?
Had to be done.
Did it?
I felt everything that every version of me felt. All of that knowledge. I lost a pinky, but that version of me, she lost everything. And Comstock, that final Comstock, he thought he could avoid his guilt by coming here.
You educated him proper.
But then why am I back here? Huh? I don't remember opening a tear to come back. And who are you? Huh?
I think you'll figure that out soon enough.
I was in Paris. I was happy. And now I'm here dealing with this Atlas, this psychopath. What was I thinking?
I wasn't Paris any more than I am Booker.
Now I have to find this Suchong, and I don't even know who that is.
Not yet, but you know he's the key, don't you?
To what?
You're asking me. Elizabeth, I ain't even here.
What are you? Huh? And how did you know exactly what to tell Atlas?
Let me ask you a question. You feeling like yourself, Elizabeth?
I feel strange and smaller. I can't see the doors. What's behind the doors? I can't see the future. I can't even see any tears. Oh my God. Stay away from me. Booker. No, please don't. I died here. I was killed by that. Stay away from me! But then, how am I here? How can I be dead in this world and yet... My finger. What am I? Huh? I don't understand.
If we're going to end up in the same place, I consider harm and enjoy the ride.
Are you being cute?
I've come round to your way of thinking.
Have you?
Yes. I do believe one can change things, but after all the bother, one often wishes that one had not.
You're a fatalist.
A physicist.
A fatalist.
So was Newton, especially when it came to apples falling from trees. They always contrived to land with a splat. She left the child to rot.
Are you implying she's the apple?
I'm implying that she did not fall far from the tree.
And now she wants to go back.
I need to go back. To fix what I broke.
Back to where she has no right to be.
Back to where she doesn't belong.
Doesn't belong? Wait, what do you mean?
Do you want to tell her brother, or shall I?
I guess I died.
There are rules.
Even for one such as you.
She'll forget.
All the doors.
And what's behind all the doors?
All closed to her now.
She'll be just like the rest of us.
Forgetting the past.
The present.
The future.
I'd wager she won't even remember this conversation. We've arrived. You're trading omniscience and croissance for death and mildew.
I left Sally to rot. For what? So I could punish Comstock? He was trying to help her, to save her, and if I don't make that right...
We all have our crosses to bear.
But there is a thin line between a martyr and a fool.
Lutessa's warned me that if I came back here, I would collapse.
Collapse?
From a quantum superposition to just me.
Quantum what?
I've changed, Booker. No tears, no cosmic knowledge. Just a normal girl. With a normal pinky. I can't open tears. I'm never leaving here, am I? I'm never going back to Paris. You're just what? You're just the fragments of my memory telling me what my future holds?
You decided to come here, Elizabeth. You knew what that meant. Only option, as I see it, is to trust yourself. Find Suchong.
I think I'm gonna have to use this air grabber. It's gonna be messy, I don't know if...
Well, a blow to the back of his head will serve just as well. Be a hell of a lot quieter, too.
That's not what you would have done.
I'm not Booker. Just because your father did something one way, doesn't mean you have to.
I've been on sabbatical going on 15 years now. I get some work, but I want to get back to real acting.
He's not getting up anytime soon.
And what with his head all attached to his body.
From here on, it's only gonna get worse.
And how much worse is up to you.
What was that?
You know, don't you?
The doors, they're cracking open. My memories of the future and somewhere I'm going to go.
You sure it's your future you're looking at?
If not mine, then whose? Look, Suchong. That's the name you had me tell Atlas. Huh.
I don't follow.
Looks like this character, Suchong, has taken over the Silverfin restaurant. That's where the tear was that I used when I first came to Rapture looking for Comstock. Before this place was turned into a prison.
But the first time you came to Rapture was in 1960, with Booker. When you drowned Sung.
Over a year from now. Yeah, that's right. When I could see all the doors, it all made sense, but now it's just a jumble.
Elizabeth, you're bleeding.
Now I know what it feels like. All right, if we're gonna find Suchong, the Silverfin is the place to start. I know the way. Once I could see everything. Every possible moment. And now...
You're just like everyone else.
Why? Why, because I died here? If I'm just like everyone else, I can't help Sally. I can't even get back to where I was.
If you don't mind me asking, love, why are you talking to nobody? If I had pegged you for a loon, I might have had second thoughts on our arrangement.
I'll hold up my end. But I better find the girl the way I left her.
You're in no position to make demands. But I must confess, I do like a bit of sass in a lass.
Big Daddy. The one that killed me.
You can't trade blows with him.
Comstock put him down and he got right back up. I can't hurt him. I could keep my distance, but if I watched myself, he could come in handy. Enemy of my enemy. Look, the tear still leads back to Columbia. Plasmids, Vigors. He and Fink must have been in communication, sharing secrets. Like the Lutesses before they were physically together. Why did I need to come here? What does this have to do with Sally?
You remember, don't you?
It hasn't happened yet? I told you I can't do that.
Concentrate, Elizabeth.
No, the doors are shut. They're... Lutece particle. I use the Lutece particle. If it can make a city float...
It can make a prison rise.
I can't open tears, but we could use this device to go to Columbia and find a particle. But it's been vandalized.
You'll fix it.
Sure. You know, my tower didn't come stocked with the Lutece device repair manual.
You will fix it.
Yeah, I'll just...
Elizabeth, you will fix it.
Okay. Okay, there must be some information around here. These are elements. Sodium, titanium. Why would these be on schematics for... It's code. A Visionaire cipher. If we assume hydrogen is A, and iron, the 26th element, is C...
You always used to need a code key.
It's right here. Never underestimate the fallibility of the egomaniac. Looks like a punch list for things Suchong needs to fix the machine. A cold cathode tube, a carbon dioxide scrubber, and a heatsink. Any of the vending machines should have the cathode tube. And we can look for a CO2 scrubber in the bathysphere showroom. A lot of models should have them. A heat sink. Oh, that's... Where in a department store are we gonna find...
Keep your cool with Old Man Winter.
That'll work. Time to find those parts. And then I just have to repair the most sophisticated piece of technology ever created.
Elizabeth, you saw yourself make this repair. You can do this.
Whatever you say. Guess we better find our way out of here. Atlas, you there? I need a favor.
A favor? I don't suppose you've conjured up the miracle you promised yet?
I'm working on it. I'm gonna need some Old Man Winter.
You might try where they hawk them new bathyspheres. As I hear it, Old Man Winter's the only thing keeps their batteries from bursting into flames after 5 minutes.
Thanks.
Think nothing of it. But it's the last favor you'll be getting.
You'll have to go through me!
Yeah?
Atlas sent me here for some Old Man Winter.
You haven't been around here long, have you?
What makes you say that?
'Cause you're the only one of us that don't smell like the reptile house at the zoo. Now be quick about it, and just take the winner. This ain't the Goodwill.
Problem. Big Daddy will not imprint on the little brats. Yet Fink succeeded in imprinting his disgusting bird on his subject. How has Fink, this stupid man, succeeded where Suchong failed? If Suchong could obtain hair sample of Fink's subject, Suchong could determine delta of genetic material with little sister. Proof is in DNA pudding.
The time has come, brothers and sisters. Did you want to keep climbing Andrew Ryan's ladder? Just to watch him knock it down as you're reaching the top? The cards are stacked. What's a bunch of fine words if there ain't deeds to back them up? Rapture was supposed to be different. But the only thing that separates it from the slums of New York or Glasgow or about 1 million gallons of salt water. Ryan sent a clear message when he had Frank Fontaine put down. It's time all you learned your place. I tell you what, Ryan. Message received. Loud and clear. And here's what the people of Rapture have to say to you. If you won't give us what we want, we're more than happy to come and take it.
Where there's bathyspheres, there's bound to be CO2 scrubbers.
Why is that?
If you don't remove the carbon dioxide from the air supply in a submersible, you'll suffocate. The one thing I did like about Rapture, lots of new books to read. It will need a long-haul bathysphere, something where the CO2 buildup would limit the submersible period.
You okay?
I've seen all this happen before. I've seen everything that will happen, and now I only see darkness.
You sent yourself here for a reason.
A debt.
That's what you want to call it.
This Atlas. I'm gonna have to kill him. Either that or he'll kill me.
Maybe so.
I'm not you, Booker. Some war hero. I'm not even me anymore. No tears, no omniscience, or whatever you want to call it. Just a whole lot of book learning. And a handful of lockpicks.
My permission to leave?
Got it. That was the last of it.
Now you think you can manage the repair?
Sure. I've been fixing quantum field generators since kindergarten.
Any progress, love? I must confess, I'm becoming a wee bit skeptical.
Remind me, why am I supposed to care?
You see, me lads have taken a keen thirst for Adam, and there's a vintage right in front of me that'll do nicely.
If you kill her, I truly hope you are happy living down here. Put down roots, raise a family. Or maybe you think Andrew Ryan is going to ride to your rescue.
Fair enough. But remember, there are fast ways to harvest little sisters, and some very slow ones.
Okay, that should stop it from overheating. Now we won't immediately die of CO2 poisoning the moment we turn the thing on. Well, not the perfect phosphor frequency, but it'll do. There, everything's fixed. We're ready.
Let's fire it up and see.
Sesame.
What did I tell you?
Look. You're on the First Lady. It can't be this easy. The First Lady Mark II was built around a particle lift system just like all the buildings in the city. I read all about it in the Columbian Scientific. The particles seated at the top of the structure must be up that lift. Perfect.
Like a lot of technology just to float an airship. Comstock never heard of hydrogen?
The First Lady Mark I did run on hydrogen, and it was destroyed by a single bullet from a Vox sniper. Unfortunately, the Prophet wasn't on board at the time. If I take the active particle, then the First Lady is just a 40-ton paperweight. Best to take the spare. Here we go. Now let's head back through that tear.
You honestly expect Atlas to honor his side of the deal?
No, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
How do you plan on handling Atlas? He ain't just some spliced-up maniac.
He'll make a mistake. I just have to be ready to take advantage of it when it happens.
All for a girl you barely know.
How well did you know me when you came to Columbia?
Pretty lady not finished yet.
What? Open the tear.
Power for device, very expensive. Tit for tat.
Just tell me what you want.
Such a want something simple. Lock of hair.
Oh, you're not serious.
Not your hair, stupid. Fink has a secret life. Mothballed, forgotten. In there, hair sample. In jar. Cannot miss it. You get for suture. Then everybody friends.
Where's his lab?
Closed off, past Fink's quarters. You smart lady, you find.
Should have seen that one coming.
Vox Populi. We must have arrived right in the middle of the siege.
That means the other you and I are probably inside the factory. On our way up to the First Lady.
And what happens if we run into ourselves?
We won't.
How do you know that?
Because we didn't.
I've taken your counsel, and you done me good service, but I will not hurt the boy. I will see Fink and Comstock burn, but I will not hold the son to account for the deeds of his father.
You've misunderstood us.
We neither asked you to harm the child.
Nor did we promise that yours would be the hand that would set Comstock's world afire.
A famous man once said,
And a famous man shall say,
I may reach the mountaintop,
but I fear I shall never visit the valley below.
But you mean I won't live to see the... No.
It's up to you what matters more.
Your part in the play.
Or the play itself.
Someone is coming.
She'll arrive a girl.
She must leave. A woman.
And what makes the difference between a girl and a woman?
Blood.
Your part in the play.
Or the play itself.
Turn her into a killer? How?
Give the girl no choice.
And she will be forced to make one.
Yeah, there's a war coming. You can smell it in the air. Fear, hatred, people dying every day. But how many more will suffer if we rise up? Violence begets violence, I know this. I've seen this. The rational mind argues for a peaceful solution to find a common ground, but what common ground is there to find for a father who watches his child bleed out in the street? How do you deny him his vengeance? I know that fire that burns deep inside. I know it all too well. And when the time comes, will I be able to stay the hand?
Think.
A giant clock.
Sort of. Looks like the mechanism unlocks certain activities when Fink gives his blessing.
So what? We're stuck waiting for the cuckoo to go off?
No, there's a slot for some kind of key for manual winding. We've just gotta find that.
Sure seems like a lot of work to lock down a few doors.
Yo, if there's one thing Fink loves, it's a lot of work.
As to the matter of religion, let me place myself in the camp of the agnostic. I pretend to understand the mysteries of the infinite no more than you, Comstock, or anyone else for that matter. But for the sake of argument, let's say this is all one unhappy accident, and we're all alone in our toils. Then who would Comstock use to control and shame us with rules that apply only to those with not a penny in their pocket? If there were no God, you could rest assured the first deed done by the first rich man would be inventing him.
Listen, I got you your guns. I'm here for my action.
But my Booker DeWitt died for the Vox Populi. You either an imposter or a ghost. My Booker DeWitt was a hero to the cause, a story to tell your children.
Booker, you there? I miss you. You were the only one who ever... You were my only friend. Booker.
I'm not even here. I'm a projection of your own.
Could you humor me then? Please.
I think Booker would miss you.
Daisy sacrificed herself. Set me up to kill her, to turn me into what?
A killer.
Yeah, well, mission accomplished. I'm no martyr. How did you do it, Booker? How did you...
Elizabeth, I'm not Booker.
And neither am I.
What is all this?
Imprinting. That's a wire mother. If you separate a gorilla from its real mother, it will imprint on almost anything. Even that.
Why would Fink care about that?
Songbird. He wanted him to imprint on me.
Well, if I recall, that was a problem he solved. What's that?
It's a skeletal formula for oxytocin. That's the chemical that bonds mothers to children, women to men, and...
Songbirds to little girls?
Apparently not. Fink dismissed it as an unsuitable vector. Imprinting failed. That can't be right. Clearly they formed a connection between Songbird and me.
How?
I was so young, I always remember him just being there. Booker, the little girl in the film. It's me. My God. I remember he'd crashed into the tower. I guess he was in some sort of fight. I waited there thinking I don't know, that something would happen, but he just lay there. Moaning. I couldn't just...
The line with the thorn in its paw. So much for science.
I should have just left him there to die. I should have just... I will never escape it. Exploited, exploiting, me, Comstock, you, Sally. It's like a wheel of blood spinning round and round. Well, this must be the genetic sample Suchong wanted.
He sent you all the way back here for a sample of your own hair?
He doesn't know I was once the child that imprinted on Songbird. But to him, all the answers lie in DNA. Men like Suchong mistake an ounce of empathy for a pound of science.
It has occurred to me that this breakthrough regarding the Songbird casts my arrangement with the Oriental Doctor in a new light. What more could be gained by this continued partnership? What secrets that I could not answer for myself? Suchong can only offer table scraps, and Jeremiah Fink has richer meat in mind.
Still breathing. Who did this?
Now, I know there's been some concern about the nature of the work we do here at Fink Manufacturing. Some say they're uncomfortable with the purported harm and suffering our research brings. But friends, let me pose a simple question. Is there anything you would not do to guarantee the health and safety of your loved ones? My interest is the future health of your children. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Someone about? Do you think Daisy really even had a choice?
What do you mean?
Right about now, I'm planting a pair of scissors in her back to protect a child she was never going to harm. She chose to die for her revolution. What about me? For all the endless worlds, all the infinite possibilities. Did I ever even have a choice? Did you?
Yeah. Booker thought he did.
Look where it got us. Right back where we started. All these infinite universes. And yet we end up just going down the same paths.
I don't take your meaning.
My father sold me to settle a marker. Comstock locked me up in a tower. And I sold Sally for what? Revenge? To prove a point?
And yet, here you are, settling the debt.
And say we find her. The old past their damage to the young. Isn't it too late for her now?
Well, I'd say that's up to her to decide. Justice coming back here was up to you.
Rapture runs on children. Little girls with gold growing in their bellies. I'm not gonna break any cycle. If I'm lucky, maybe I can dent it. Just a little.
Deal is deal. Bring it to Suchong.
Pretty lady, put hair sample in tube. Then, business is finished.
What's going on out there?
Bloodshed, violence, but not relevant to our arrangement.
Suchong! Suchong, we had a deal, now open...
Do you know what they call someone who enters man's home uninvited? A thief. And I do not remember inviting you into my city.
I had a deal with Suchong.
Suchong is my employee. It was not a deal he was authorized to make.
What do you want?
I granted Atlas and his thugs asylum. You serve those same men in a desire to escape from my generosity. If they shall not have asylum, then they shall have liquidation. Give a parasite an ounce of charity. He'll demand a pound.
I'm just looking for a girl that was taken from me. A little sister.
I don't claim to understand what you are. But I know that you... There is business we can do together. And so I give you a choice. Work for me, or die with Atlas.
I'm not going anywhere without that girl.
If it's a little sister you want, that shouldn't stand in the way of commerce. I've got dozens of them.
I won't leave without her.
My men stand ready to take down the door. In 60 seconds, they will enter the room. They will either treat you as a valued employee of Ryan Industries, or as a thief in the night.
"60 seconds.
There must be half a dozen of them or more. I've got to get ready. Traps. I can use the plasmids as traps and seed the room with them. I gotta find somewhere to hide and surprise them. Take them down one by one. Booker, I'm scared.
They'll underestimate you, Elizabeth. People always do.
40 seconds. You know what I see on your face? Uncertainty. Who is this girl to you? 30 seconds. Do you know the value of the shark? Without them, the sea would be littered with the detritus of the weak. The men who come to you have much in common with those great animals. What sharks do for the ocean, these men do for Rapture. 20 seconds. I will tell you something you already sense. Atlas does not honor agreements. Andrew Ryan does. I cannot save your Sally, but I can save you.
I beat your sharks, Ryan. The better man won. Isn't that the only thing you respect? Now let me the hell out of here.
Sounds like all hell's breaking loose out there. What's your plan?
I can't just place the particle on the ceiling. It would just tear right through it. But every building in Rapture was submerged into the ocean on a lunette ring, connected to the junction of its load-bearing supports.
That's fascinating and all, but if you haven't noticed, Ryan sent his goons to murder us. If you're gonna pull a rabbit out of a hat, now's the time to do it.
Looks like the structural junction is in Frank Fontaine's office. If I can get there, I can float the building.
It so happens I've taken that bastard's office for my own use. I'll make sure you've access to the private elevator. Now hurry.
Elizabeth, you know Atlas is going to...
I know. And I'm ready.
Are you sure?
I sent myself here for a reason. Didn't I?
And who exactly are you speaking to, Miss Comstock? If I were less acquainted with the vicissitudes of genius, I suspect I would question your sanity. I know so little of you, but I imagine the more I learned, the more exceptional I would find you. You know Atlas will betray you.
And what are you? My best friend?
You're one of a kind in this world, or others. And now, your misguided sense of altruism sends you to your doom. It's like watching Isaac Newton die in a house fire, in a vain attempt to save his cat.
Here goes nothing. It's working! Atlas, you feel that? You have your prison break. Now bring me the girl.
Did your mom ever teach you not to put your faith in strange foreign men?
Just give me the girl. She means nothing to you.
You've got that right. The girl means nothing. But you, love, you mean the world.
We could do.
Scary. Stay away from him. He's scary.
Look, it's okay. He can't hurt anyone.
Scary.
Shh. Shh. Can you move? Can you just move a little bit for me? I don't know how to help you. I don't. No, he's just hurt. He just needs somebody to figure out how to fix him. Maybe there's some, I don't know. Is there some documentation for him around here or something? Right. Look who I'm asking.
Scary, 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 scary.
I've got to do something.
Big monster, safe monster.
It's okay. It's okay. Please. I don't know how to help him. He needs Adam. I don't have any of that. I don't know what to do.
Going to die. Not fair. We can help. Help.
Is that your puppy? She's very pretty.
Thank you, Papa Sushong.
Break her neck for me. What? Break that sweet puppy's neck.
Clinical trial. Protector system. Plasmids 255. Dr. Suchong. Client Ryan Industries. Very frustrating day. I seem to get the damn Big Daddies to imprint on the little brats. The protection bondage is just another formula. Get away. Maybe if I modify the genetic sequence to... sequence to allow for... Get away, you filthy little shit! What are you doing? Get back! Get back!
There's the ace. This is it. This is the ace in the hole. All the pain and all of the death for this.
Hey, sister. Over here. Do you have it?
I have it.
Give it over then. I'm keen to get this brat off me hands.
You know what? Andrew Ryan said I was a rube. But he was wrong. I'm not the rube, Atlas. You are. Now, we both know what happens next. Just get it over with.
Well, love, if you insist. What is this? It's just a bunch of gibberish. What does this say, you little whore? Hey, hey, hey! What does this say?
It says... Would you kindly...
We've got the activation phrase. Now all we've got to do is get that genetic freak of nature on an airplane, and Rapture's ours. Yeah!
One life is to save the world entire. It is you who are very safe.
I can see all the doors. And what's behind all the doors. And behind one of them, incredibly, I see him.
Dans ses bras, elle m'apporte la tuba. Je vois la vie en rose. Il m'a dit des mots d'amour, des mots de tous les jours. Et ça me fait quelque chose.
Une part de bonheur dont je connais la cause.